I have a smartphone with me and I have some important information in my smartphone. Now, in order to make it safe and in order to make it secure, what we generally do, we go and create a security key, or else I could talk it in this way. You will go and set up a password. So what password you will set up? Either you will go with the pattern, or you will go with the face lock, or you will go with the fingerprint, or you will go with the number, entering the pin, right? So now these are the ways that we go and make our mobile phone safe and secure by having the security keys. And we all know that these can also be easily cracked. My password, if I have kept as a pattern, my password, if I have kept as my fingerprint lock, can also be easily cracked. So this is a difficult problem nowadays. So now if you have even observed in Gmail, whenever you are trying to log in into your Gmail, so it is going to ask you two-step verification. What is a two-step verification? One, it will ask you that, okay, yes, it's me. That's where you have to click it in your mobile phone. Or it will give you or show you some number in your computer, okay, that you have to cross verify and accept it in your mobile phone. That's where that it's a two-step verification. So now when everything is becoming safe and secure, do you think that whatever the security keys we are keeping it, is it sufficient for the cloud platforms also in order to make it safe and secure? Hi, I am M. Asif Hussain from KnowHow Academy. What are we going to learn in this video? We are going to learn and understand the multi-factor authentication in Snowflake. So by the end of this video, you could get an idea, and even you can go and apply it in the real time on how you have to make your Snowflake account safe and secure beyond the login ID and password. So watch till the end. So my dear viewers, whenever I am talking about multi-factor authentication in Snowflake, so nowadays various organizations have started implementing it. So what exactly is multi-factor authentication? So in the same way how we have the security key for the two-step verification, when I am talking it about in a Gmail perspective, then what's happening is that in this particular multi-factor authentication, you have a lot of steps that are involved until or unless you accept and agree with all those security keys. You cannot directly log in into the Snowflake and start working on any project. So as part of that, here let us understand what exactly is MFA. Multi-factor. Now in the name itself we have more than one step. Multi-factor authentication. So here it is a security mechanism which provides the account protection. So I know that we have the login ID. I know that we have a password, but beyond this one, we are going to have the security key or a security mechanism. Okay, it's an extra layer I would like to talk about. So now, this multi-factor authentication is in demand with lots of applications wherever we have the safe and secure data. So let's understand the data of the banks, the data of CBC IDs, the data of the crime reports, the data of the organizations. Okay. So these data, it is a very secure data, right? So here what we are going to have it, we have a very interesting point. So let me give a simple example. I hope you all might be aware of data centers. So what are data centers? So earlier in organizations, what we used to have a separate room, we'll call it a server room or the data center room, where we have a lot of Ethernet hubs. Okay, we have a lot of protocols, IP. So all these things, we have all this in a data center. But so recently, whenever we are into this cloud platform, so what's happening is that here in this cloud platform, instead of having a physical data center, we are having a cloud data center. Okay, so when we are talking about this cloud data center, so whatever the data that we have as part of organization perspective, as part of banking domains, as part of the money transactions, as part of the crime reports, okay, data centers data. So all these things, it is not stored physically in the data center nowadays, but rather it is stored in a cloud data center. So now that we have a very huge storage limit, we have all these things that comes up in it. So now when all these different applications that I have talked about, so on all these different things, we have MFA which is in demand because it gives a very high secured layer for our data protection with our safe and secured way. All right. So now it is important that MFA secures access for user and their device, and this particular multi-factor authentication is a built-in feature for all Snowflake editions. Okay, this is an interesting point. So we don't need to go and create some another new application in for Snowflake and all, but we have some inbuilt features for all these Snowflake editions. But here the point is that for this one, Cisco is a very interesting company. Okay, so networking company. So through the help of Cisco, okay, we have to use one external application called DUO, DUO. Okay, so with this application, we can go and create this MFA in order to log in into our particular Snowflake in a safe and secure way, so that no other user can easily hack or track our particular login ID and password and start directly creating queries or projects in Snowflake. So that's where it's an interesting point. Now here, see this DUO mobile application, it is required for the user to install in the app and in order to use it. Okay, so now if you just look into the enrollment of this multi-factor authentication, so here depending upon the preferences, okay, what we use, users are required to self-enroll in MFA. So now in this Snowflake, what's happening is that, as you can see that in the Snowflake, we have multi-factor authentication which is inbuilt. So now it is not enrolled. It is not enrolled, as you can see the status in Snowflake. So what we have to do, we have to go and enroll it manually, depending upon our requirement, depending upon our preferences, what warehouse we are using it, how much size of warehouse we want, what is the workload. So all these comes into the picture. Okay, so we have to enroll into this particular multi-factor authenticator manually. So now, as you can see the device options, okay, so we have to select the device to add for the enrollment process. So in order to do that, first what we should have the DUO application in our particular mobile phones. So here what I'm trying to do, in this particular mobile, if we have this DUO, then it is going to ask that what type of device are you adding? Are you adding a mobile phone? Are you adding the tablet? Are you adding a landline or a security key? So that's what we have to select it. So we have to select the device that we are going to enroll into this particular system. So now let's go and activate the DUO. So what's happening is that as soon as you find this particular QR code, okay, what we have to do is that we have to scan this QR code so that it will open up the DUO application, and here we have to tap on add button so that we can scan this barcode and we can go and activate this particular DUO mobile for Android. So in the same way it is applicable for iOS as well. So that's not a problem. Same way we have to go and scan, and so that we will get this iOS DUO in iOS as well. All right. Now MFA in action. This is very important. Multi-factor authentication in action. So here what I'm trying to tell it to you, once we go and activate the DUO application, after we have installed the DUO application, so after the enrollment, what a user, who is a user, for example, I am using this Snowflake and I am the user. So a user logs in into Snowflake, then a push notification appears similar to like this, a push notification. So now what's happening is that, so now we have the Windows authenticator also, where we can go and get this one. We have DUO application also. So but DUO is very reliable with Snowflake. That's where people use this particular DUO application here. So as soon as we get this particular pop-up, so what we have to do, we have to either, we can go and select whatever it might be. Either we can select on call or enter a passcode or send me a push. Then what happens is that even I also, if I would like to give you my example, if I would like to go and open up my Snowflake and not to use it, I cannot directly go and sign in into Snowflake, but I have to open up this particular authenticator, then where we have to go and send me we have to click on this, send me a push in Snowflake, then a push notification comes into my mobile phone. I have to accept it, agree it, then my Snowflake will successfully get logged in. So that's where the steps are involved beyond from the login ID and password that we generally give in order to log in into our Snowflake. So let us understand the flow, how exactly it happens. So let's consider that okay, in the starting way, I'll go and give my username and password. After I have given my username and password, then we go with the MFA authentication options, where we can select any one of these options. So whichever it is suitable for us, or whichever is convenience for us. So now let's consider that I'm going and selecting send me a push in my case. Then what will happen? Then I have to go and approve it. So as soon as I go and approve it, then the login will be successful. So this is the complete flow what happens in the multi-factor authentication. So this is the way that we can go and keep our particular Snowflake in a safe and secure way, so that nothing can be get tracked, nothing can be get hacked, nothing can be get copied. No one can go and break this password or the login ID, whatever we are trying to use in Snowflake, and start doing some sort of modifications or disturbance with the projects that we have it in Snowflake. So that's one interesting point. All right. So my dear viewers, in this video we have learned what is multi-factor authentication and how we have to set it up in our particular application. Thank you for choosing KnowHow Academy as your source for IT knowledge. We are always here to help you to navigate the tech world. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you. Stay curious and keep learning.